Hi, I am glad to see you on my channel. Please support the channel by liking, subscribing, and leaving comments. It's not hard for you, but for me it's motivation to create new videos. Your support helps me move forward and creates a community where we can share these moments together. Enjoy watching. My husband Jacob and I have been married for 3 years, but we rarely see each other. He works on a ship as a sailor, always going away for long periods of time. He is often gone from a couple months to 6 months. I'm used to it, but sometimes I miss him terribly. I miss his love, attention, and warmth, but I can't do anything about it. I just wait for him to come home. Every day we would call each other via video call and talk as much as we could. Sometimes we could talk for hours, telling stories and laughing like we used to when we were together. Other times there was only enough time for him to say he was doing well before saying goodbye. I tried to hang in there, but there were days when I would end our conversation and just sit there, feeling the emptiness in the house. That's how our time together passed, bittersweet and full of longing. But today his cousin Michael was due to arrive. He needed to borrow some of Jacob's things. Of course, my husband knew about it and had given his consent, so there shouldn't be a problem. I finished up my work on the laptop, answering emails and running a few errands, and then laid down for a nap. I felt the fatigue from the week finally catching up with me and was glad for the rest. I closed my eyes, but soon had to open them again at the sound of the alarm clock. Michael was about to arrive. I needed to pull myself together. It wasn't good to greet a guest half asleep. I splashed cold water on my face to wake up properly. When I got out of the shower, the doorbell rang and I didn't even have time to change. So I had to meet him wrapped in just a towel. Michael looked me over from head to toe, but said nothing about my appearance. He said hello politely, and I gestured for him to come in. He stepped into the living room, and I felt his gaze linger for a moment before he turned away. Apparently, he already knew where the things he needed were, because he headed straight for Jacob's locker. I didn't bother him, but politely offered him a cup of tea. He accepted. I put the kettle on to boil and went to my room to change. For a moment, I froze in front of my closet, a little nervous for reasons I didn't understand. I chose a simple, comfortable dress, something casual but presentable. I planned to call Jacob after Michael left and then go to bed. The kettle was already hot, so I poured the water into mugs, added a couple spoonfuls of sugar, and tossed in the tea bags. The aroma of tea began to fill the kitchen, and I took a deep breath, trying to calm myself down. "Tea's ready." I called out to him from the kitchen. He answered, and in a few seconds Michael was by my side. We drank tea, exchanged a few questions about work and family, and he told me a little about his travels. He'd always been the adventurous one in the family, and I listened intrigued as he told me about the different places he'd been. There was something about his voice that was warm and genuine that made talking to him easy. It was nice to have company, to have someone around to break the silence of an empty house. As I started to wash the mugs, I suddenly felt his presence behind me. It was like a quiet, unspoken signal. He wrapped his arms around me from behind, pulling me to him. I stopped breathing for a couple seconds, my heart pounding in my chest. "You know, I've always liked you," he whispered softly in my ear, his breath warming my skin. My husband's long absence had taken its toll, and in that moment I felt a rush of emotions: loneliness, longing, desire. I let Michael's hand slide down and tugged at my nightgown. The sensation was both exciting and frightening. One part of me wanted to stop. The other craved the closeness I'd missed for so long. We'd gotten so lost in each other, so caught up in the heat of the moment, that I'd forgotten to call Jacob, forgotten about everything else but how I felt about Michael. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to me and helps me continue to create these stories for you. Thank you for being here.